You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Ooh, so tonight is a little bit of scotch. Is this what this is?
Scotch. I like scotch. Scotch.
Wow, but you know when I drink that, I feel mature. This is now coming to the smooth designer, the mature designer.
The mature designer.
Yeah,
we need big fat stogies for
to
this.
go with, that would work great with
that
this.
would be ideal.
Oh yeah, actually that's good though. That's a good flavor.
That's
I
not
like
bad,
that.
right?
That's a nice change. So Glenfiddich is tonight's, libation of choice. Yes,
excellent.
That's
choice,
nice.
Too.
So this ended up coming. This is nice. Yeah, this is really cool.
It's got that peaty kind of flavor, though.
No, and that's okay. Pete's okay. I like Pete.
Okay. Oh, you do.
I like Pete. So, of course, Pete's a good guy. Pete makes me feel good.
Good old Pete.
Good old Pete. So welcome to the Angry Designer podcast. Generally, I just like to just jump in a conversation, but want to remind everybody that by the time this episode gets aired, we're probably going to be in our second month of our awesome contest. Right? Where we are giving away a pair of AirPods, for you guys to go and listen to our awesome podcast and maybe some other ones that are just kind of okay. Not as fun as ours,
You'll be back.
Yeah. You'll be back. But all you got to do to get entered in this contest is to go and leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on Spotify or one of the other services, and then hit us up on our Instagram and let us know that you did that. And I mean, the response has been great. Reviews have been great. We won a couple reviews just to help us reach more people. It puts us higher in the rankings. Yep. Right now, we've got some pretty good rankings across the globe in some countries. I know it's kind of crazy, and we're proud of it. But it's
Did you say across the globe?
Across the globe.
Holy shit!
I know.
Worldwide,
dude. It's cool because you get people from Australia, you get people from India, we get people from South America. It is pretty cool.
That's bizarre.
It is. It's awesome. It's awesome. UK, of course. Wow. So, in order to reach out to more people, we're holding this contest so we can get a couple more reviews. So please, by all means, love us or hate us, drop us a review. Let us know what you think. Say hi, of course, and then hit us up on Instagram and let us know. Right?
Yes.
So that's our contest. Otherwise, so right now we're probably in March when this is going to air.
That's right. Yep.
And then again, so it's going to be February, March, and April. So we will be revealing who the winner is, of course, on each month. Yes. But we haven't actually finished February 1st, right?
That's true.
February's.
That's true.
Technically, when we're recording this, we still have another week to go.
Will we be able to announce next week then, maybe?
Maybe we'll just stick it in ahead of time or something. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's only if they even let us.
I can't wait.
That'd be kind of fun, right?
I know. This
That'll
is
be like our first real cool. Wow. Does this feel like a total Wayne and Garth thing, right? Cool, man. So back to Pete. Pete.
Back to Pete. Old Petey.
So as I was telling you the story about how I got this. So, of course, it was the weekend. We just finished the weekend, right? Come Saturday, doesn't my youngest come down with a fever?
Oh no!
And right now, with everybody's still COVID hyper crazy, right? So, she comes down with a pretty wicked fever, which sucks, right? When kids get fevers and you don't know what the hell to do.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm panicking a little bit because of the fever, but even more so because I knew I'd be home for 3-4 days, and I had no alcohol. I was just like, shit, how am I going to get through this? So needless to say, one of our awesome employees, she brought over, a Jameson and this.
Oh, this is how you got that.
That's how I got this. Oh. Yes. So,
I was gonna say you wouldn't go out of your way normally to buy
Scotch,
Irish whiskey or Scotch, would you?
But the Jameson was amazing.
Yes.
And so that I snagged up on the weekend. But I didn't have to finish this one up.
That's awesome.
So that's how this came to be.
Nice.
Right. And so that's how we're drinking this right now.
All right.
So, but of course, she was okay. Come Sunday, her fever got pretty high. Come Sunday, she was totally good. She was back to normal.
Good.
It kind of resurfaced a little bit on Monday, so she still stayed home from school. But now it's like if you get a fever or symptoms, 5 days. You got to stay home, right?
Oh, is that really like mandatory?
Pretty much.
This is the thing. It's like, how do we know nowadays what's a regular cold and what's COVID?
Well, I think that's why they're not testing anymore, because right, because they're like, I think the COVID that we're living and dealing with now seems like it's manageable.
Yes,
right.
It seems like the numbers have gone way down.
Yeah.
So,
And it seems like people are getting it.
Yes.
It's mild symptoms.
Yeah.
You know, it's a heavy cold, like flu, right? So, and that's okay. We've come a long way to be able to say that confidently, right?
Dude, it's been like 2 years since I've been sick. like I have a sniffle every once in a while.
Hands,
yeah,
your
I know.
mask.
I've never been.
Yeah, weird, right? Like I've never been so hygienic.
Yes, exactly.
And because of it, I'm not. It's so true, dude.
Now, you're so protected. You're always wearing a mask.
Right.
Vaccinated up the wazoo. It's just like,
God, right?
This is great, man.
That's right. So with this whole me at home weekend, there's not much I could do, right, other than stay away from the kids, right, because that's what you got to do, and so I caught up on TV and I literally binge watched, the whole first season of Mr. Robot.
I gotta watch that.
Honestly.
Oh, is it good?
So it was unexpected.
Yeah.
It was so one of my all-time favorite shows ever was the old movie Hackers. Okay, and this goes back about 25 years ago.
in that?
Young Angelina Jolie is the big star. But there are some other celebrities on there now that you would recognize now from back then, right?
Right.
Back then they were all like starting, but she was one of the main characters back then, which is kind of interesting to see what she looked like.
Yeah.
But again, and it's funny because you look back now at like the technology that they were talking about there. You got a sweet processor here with 8 megabytes of RAM. And it's, wow.
Oh my God.
Pretty funny. But I mean, the soundtrack was amazing. And
Yeah.
it had this cool vibe. So Mr. Robot is like the modern day version, right? And again, this dude who's a hacker, by day, he protects his company that he's working for by, preventing hackers. And then at nighttime, he is a hacker, right?
So he's a black hat and a white hat.
Right? Okay,
Oh,
that's cool. That's cool. So, so needless to say, I mean, it was a great fucking show.
Wow, I've heard good things about it.
So it was cool. I highly recommend it. There's 3 more seasons I got to go to.
Yeah.
But of course, watching this and seeing how easy this dude is getting in and out of people's lives and finds out about them and he's just talking it through and you're just like, wow, we've been idiots all this time, right? Which is where tonight's whole podcast theme came from is literally watching this show and it's just like, wow, like passwords.
Yeah.
We don't think anything of passwords and how to keep our shit secure.
That's right. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Those
oh
are
my
all
God,
mine.
dude, it's ridiculous. That's a real thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Like we do, honestly, but it's just like we take this all for granted, and this shit is so real.
Yeah.
Right. And it is so real. I mean, again, we store everything in the cloud, and granted, it's all locked down, password protected, and now we're experimenting with also giving ourselves hard copies. But you hear these stories of people hacking into accounts. Okay, from a business perspective, hacking in, locking down all your files, right, and holding them hostage, and literally it's like, pay me, and I will give you the key to encrypt it. And half the time that stupid key doesn't even work, so you're screwed.
Oh, really,
dude? And that's scary. That shit happens. And honestly, it's like the part that's scary is, okay, as a freelancer, that's that might be of concern. Actually, it will be 100%. Screw that, freelancer or not. We're all privy to some pretty, everything we have with our customers is NDA. Like I always tell everybody, we live and breathe NDAs. Like as soon as you walk into our front door, assume, it's NDA. The past 20 years, it's like everything we hear from customers, we never talk about outside of here because we can't. We knew, about BlackBerry going to shit before the rest of the world was, right? We knew, like we had preview about technology years ahead of time because that's how we help with brand. That's how we help with their software. That's how we help with the UI, UX, right? So all of a sudden, if people outside of here get a hold of this information, just because we were hacked, that doesn't mean that we're off the hook. We are totally liable, like legally for this shit.
Really?
Dude.
Wow.
So it's not just a matter of, and then of course, if somebody hacks their system and takes their files, dude, like what's left, right? Like again, so there's so much to this that was freaking me out this weekend. Just like it started off as a great, good.
This is why you like the Jameson.
That's why I went through
you
the
were
Jameson.
dependent on it.
Oh my God, dude. But like,
wow.
Honestly, it's like, what happens if it gets in the wrong hands and this and that. So it's really started making me think that I think there's so much here that we take for granted. And so much ridiculousness that still happens that honestly, angry designers need to know about. We just need to know. It's our duty to kind of like set the record straight in a lot of shit, so people don't do this stuff, right?
Oh, good.
Because
That's
it's just
awesome.
well, and again, we live in a cloud-based world.
Yeah.
Everything we do, all of our business, all of our communications, everything is now online.
Yes.
And honestly, people aren't taking passwords serious enough. So that's what we're covering today.
Myself included.
Oh, dude,
Many
don't
times-
tell me that.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
tell
no,
me
no.
that.
How many times have you told me to get on board with the 1Password thing?
Dude, you need, and now more than ever, I'm gonna kick your ass to do
Dude,
this.
I am
After
scared.
this weekend.
After reading this, I was just
dude.
like, holy
Some
shit.
of these stats are ridiculous.
Yes.
So
it's
okay,
absolutely crazy.
it's sad. It's sad, but there was a research study done at one of the password companies, one of the password software companies, and the average person these days is expected to remember on average 100 passwords. 100 fucking now again, at first you're like, that's impossible.
yeah, there's no
But
way.
think about it, right? So obviously your email password, your phone password, your social media accounts passwords, your bank passwords, your Netflix passwords, your Prime passwords, your Amazon account, like they're everywhere. And we just take this shit for granted, right? And again, the problem is with so many passwords, it's just like people try to shortcut their lives. And this is what's screwing everybody over, right?
Yes.
Like again, 75% of people, and this across the US, reuse passwords across different accounts. You'd think that that's an easy way to get around this, but apparently that's like huge red flag number one that we got to stay away with, right? 69% of the people share these passwords with colleagues.
Oh my God.
And that's the worst because, and I've done it. I've given my brother my password to get into here. I've given my dad my, absolutely, dude. Shit, dude, I think half of our staff knows my Visa password. When it's like, okay, go get a bottle of whiskey for us. Here's my password. But it's true. We take like, so easy, right?
Yeah.
51% reuse the same passwords between business and personal.
Oh, wow.
Because people are trying to circumvent all this, make their lives easier for this, right? Okay, 57% who've experienced a phishing attack or an attempted phishing attack still haven't changed their password behavior. That's scary. So here, they've come close to being screwed over.
Right.
And they still wasn't enough to actually change anything about their whole process. That's kind of disappointing.
That's
right?
crazy.
And sadly, and this one's kind of shocking, there are some, things available to us like two-factor, multi-factor authentication.
Yep.
However, almost 70% of people don't even use that in their lives.
Wow.
They just absolutely, they're like, no, I can't be bothered. And this is one of the best ways to actually prevent this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and this is where I was like, I started getting into this rabbit hole and I'm like, this is horrible.
Yes.
Right? Like we can't, this is the world that we're living in, but
Yeah.
we can't take this shit for granted. Not that I'm like Mr. Crazy Paranoid, but just like I tell my kids, it only takes one time.
Yeah.
And you will be royally screwed.
Yeah, totally. Wow, and those numbers are fucking high. Like that's insane. Holy shit!
Dude,
like
they're
none of
so
them are
high.
10%, 15%. You know
dude.
what I mean? It's all well over 50.
It's not like this internet is a new thing for all of us. It's not like we've had a little while.
Is it still around? Yeah.
It's still, it's a fad, right? It's a fad. But I mean, and the problem is this shit's not going anywhere. The behavior, we're continually, everything we're doing is going more and more online. Dude, like we're pretty much even a paperless office here,
Yeah, pretty
right? Like our
much,
studio's paperless. There's no paper anywhere.
Yep.
When we do get something paper, we snap it, put it online.
Yeah.
But again, it's behind a password protected area. So,
Yes, yeah.
like there's a lot of things that we need to discuss today, right? And get real about because honestly, I think
This is some serious stuff.
well, I think so, right?
Yeah, big
and again,
time.
it's the smallest of things. And the sad part is there's such a huge crossover between work and personal lives, and people don't get that.
Yeah.
Right? They take it for granted. Your work there's a better chance of your work getting hacked for information than personally. However, identity theft is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And so that's personal. That's nothing to do with work. So if they hack one, they have easy access to the other side.
one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jeez.
So from like watching this episode, it was like, I started seeing some of the techniques he was using on a regular basis. And then I started kind of digging to find out even more.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like how hackers, the first thing is how they actually crack people's passwords. Okay. So this is going to be a short list of some of the stuff, how they actually crack it.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, the most popular way on how they crack passwords are by fucking guessing. And you think that's stupid, like guessing off the top of your head. You're like, there's no way. Like, how's anybody so stupid?
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I didn't believe that. Then I started doing some more research, and I got this list of the top 10 most used passwords, most commonly used passwords in North America in 2021. Dude,
what?
2021. This is.
Are you
this
sure
is,
it's
this
not
is
2012?
scary, right? But literally, you think it's like brain surgery. Like, how are these guys going to hack them? Okay, but when I look at this list, so the most popular, password used, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You are shitting me.
The most popular password, believe it or not, is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my God.
Which is fucking unbelievable.
Yes.
And again, this is across the whole US, right? The second one, is the word password. The word password is the second most popular, right? You know you mean business when you password your stuff using password. But it goes on and it gets worse. Then the third one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so one less digit. And then you really want to get secure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and honestly, number 6. Okay, ABC. 1, 2, 3, Sean.
There we go. There we go.
Like seriously, this one I feel like a total fucking moron because I didn't get this one. Number 8, most popular, is QWERTY. QWERTY.
Oh yeah, the across the.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was like, what is that? Like a funny one. I didn't realize that. She was, Catherine was like, she's like,
that's
look
lazy.
at your keyboard. And it was just like, oh, QWERTY, all beside each other. Ingenious. So again, number 9, believe it or not, okay.
Lord.
111.
Come on. Are you serious?
And then, and number 10. So, I mean, this whole top 10 list is made up of the word password 1, QWERTY, ABC 1, 2, 3, and basically sequential numbers between 1 and 10, which is fucking ridiculous. Okay. And again, it's because people are frustrated and they're just kind of, and I'm sure some people who are listening to us right now are guilty of this, guaranteed. And sometimes it's like you just start off using a temporary, I'll just quickly throw it in to test this software out. Then you like it, you're committed to it. You don't change your password. Right. And so, you think that, like we'd get better at this, but these are the top 10 in the US for 2021. So the first number 1 way how hackers often crack passwords is by guessing.
It's just by guessing, literally. That's how they do this.
That's it, right? So that's kind of really disappointing.
Because wait a second, your first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is that? 3.5 million uses?
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Counted, absolutely.
Holy shit!
That's how many.
That's insane.
Yeah,
and just by the first thing that comes to mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6.
Yeah, that's brutal, right? And like, I mean, these numbers are ridiculous. Like 3.5 million uses counted of just that. That's ridiculous.
Insane.
And the word password was 1.7 million. So it's kind of embarrassing. So shame on you. So if that's the case, pause listening to us right now. Go change those passwords and come back. We'll give you a moment.
Put a dollar sign or something in there at least.
All right. So that's number 1. Okay. How they actually crack passwords. Okay.
Wow.
Number 2. It starts getting a little better, right? They do this dictionary attack thing.
Oh.
Okay. And a dictionary attack, it actually relies on software that just randomly automatically plugs in words into passwords fields.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it's doing it at such high volume.
Yeah.
That's the kind of cool shit you see on TV, right? That they're like, they let the software does it, right?
You see going across the screen. Yeah.
Granted, it takes much more effort, much more time, but it's also done by a computer and bots. So what does it matter to them?
So it's like a set it and forget it kind of thing,
Set it and
right?
forget it. And they come back and it's like, oh, look,
and then
we're in. We figured it out.
3-4 hours later or whatever.
Yeah, like really
in.
though, right? It is like that. So dictionary attack's something else. So that's pretty crazy. Number 3 is by cracking security questions.
Oh,
right?
Really?
And so this is a horrible thing because again, people often, so number 1, the security questions that they give you are always the same stupid shit.
Right.
What's your spouse's maiden name?
Yeah.
What's your first dog's name?
Yeah.
What was the city that you first went to school or your high school was located in? Like they're so basic and they're reused over and over.
Right.
Right? And this is a common thing that they will sit there and they know this already.
Shit.
They start collecting it and then you're seeing these same things over and over and over. And I used to take those for granted, but I just realized like my bank uses those. So I've seen PayPal PayPal asks some of the same type of ones. Like some of these really high-end platforms are using the same simple shit.
Questions. Wow.
Right? So again, be careful how you answer. And honestly, to your benefit, pick the harder ones.
Yeah.
Pick the ones that are more obscure, obviously, because again, people always go to the easiest ones because they don't want to be bothered with this shit.
Yes.
So cracking security questions, right? And again, keep in mind, that's also really easy shit for them to find.
Yes.
Cracking a security question, they'll check out your social media feed. They will check out anything, right? Your Facebook post, this, that. Oh, look, there's her dog's name. Guess what?
Yeah.
That's my dog's name, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So this shit, and the funny thing is, after watching this show, a lot of these people get really creepy. They get right in there. Wow. So easy to find how much of this information is public information. Oh my God. Yeah. Pretty nuts. Oh, dude. Number 4 is by recycling passwords. Okay, people use the same password on multiple sites. Right. So if they crack it in one place, right, it's nothing for them to check
for somewhere else.
Yes,
right.
Because so many people will recycle passwords. And again, I'm guilty. Okay, thank God it's just like rolly sites and stuff.
Yeah.
But like it's it's something that obviously I've been changing a lot of as of late. Man.
Yeah.
Just even before Mr. Robot.
Oh, this is crazy, man. Holy.
And the other one, of course, that everybody hears is phishing.
Big, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is also referred to online as social engineering. Okay, and it's true.
Really?
That's appropriate.
Wow.
But I mean, the whole point of this is how they manipulate people into performing certain actions or words to divulge confidential information that they then use afterwards, right? And this is how people, they trick people into disclosing passwords. This is the kind of shit that you'll see, randomly. You'll get an email, you get a text from your bank, saying, "Hey, your account's been compromised. Log into your account right now," and then you click on it. And it takes you somewhere that looks just like it.
Your bank,
Yes, but it's totally not.
Yes.
And often, those are really tricky to spot. Sometimes just you have to understand that your bank will never, ever ask you to do this.
Yes.
Right? And I mean, they say that. We, although everything's going digital, we'll never ask you this shit.
Exactly.
So, I mean.
in this kind of format.
But people don't know that.
That's true. This is true. It's hard. Some people get swindled by these things because it looks so legit,
See, sometimes because we do so much stuff over the border, right?
Yes.
I'll get emails saying, "Hey, something's waiting at customs for you to be cleared," at your UPS account. And I'm like, wait a minute, we don't use UPS. You click on it, it looks legit. It takes you all the way over there. Like, dude, phishing can get pretty, nifty these days, right?
Interesting.
Inside a company, they'll fish for bigger information. They'll fish in order to get you to download a virus, that malware that goes all over. Oh, dude, it gets pretty scary.
Inside of a company, not a personal thing.
No,
really?
That's why company security is such a big deal these days. Yeah. So not even personal, but I mean, granted, we're talking mostly personal, but phishing schemes in companies are huge.
Yeah, totally. Holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty sad that it actually kind of exists, right?
Yeah.
But it's so easy, and it just takes a quick second for something like this to happen. So this is where it's like, everybody's really got to, step up their game a little bit and be aware that a lot of these things you're never going to be able to, have asked on a random basis.
Yes. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw away my computer, I think. This makes me nervous.
There's a lot to be nervous here, in all fairness, right? And especially that our livelihoods are built on this on a regular basis, right?
Exactly.
So, but when they do kind of get into there, so we know that people try to crack passwords, right? But they also try to crack accounts, and they use a lot of the same techniques cracking accounts as they do, passwords, right? They know that a lot of the accounts that people use, they're going to try using the same passwords. Right. And so again, you have to be careful. What you never want to do is you never want to have your email, broken into, because your email kind of everything stems to that, right? You go to your password, you go to your bank and you do a forget your password. What happens? It goes to your email, right? You try to set up a new account on Netflix. It goes back to your email, right? So your email needs to be really secured. But a lot of times they'll try to crack your account versus crack your password, right? And that, again, they reuse passwords that they found somewhere else, right? To try to crack into your account and take hostage of that, right? You hear this all the time happening on social media and stuff, right? People are cracking into people's Instagram accounts or their Facebooks. And all of a sudden you get these people who've got 1 million+ followers. And all of a sudden, bam. Dude, crazy. I was So obviously I follow a lot of people on Instagram, but you know, one of my boys is Michael Janda.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And I you know, reached out. No, he reached out to me. Right. No, I talked to him. I talked to him.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a
Wow.
total stranger. But all of a sudden it's like, you know, I get this email or they get this message and I'm like, oh, okay. Hey, what's up, dude? And he's like, hey, how's it been going? And or what he said, how have the stocks been going? That's what he asked, right? And I was like, oh, I've talked to him about stocks, right? And we had a stock strategy. I was like, oh, you know, this year it sucks. Tech stocks have taken such a hit, man. Man, I should have listened to you from the start. And I left it at that, right? I'm like, what about you? And then he's like, fine. He's like, what about crypto? And I was like, oh, crypto's actually done okay for me lately, right? But you know, I wish I could do better, but whatever. I'm still learning. And he's like, here. Follow this technique right now. And he gave me like a Meta wallet. And I was just like, wait a minute. I talked to him. I talked to him enough to know that he's never going to be that.
Yeah.
I then start going quicker, right? I look at the account. It looks like Michael Jana's account.
Yeah.
Right? It's him. It's his posts. I went in. It's his posts. Then I looked. The followers, this account only had 12,000 followers. Well, he's up to like 200,000 followers.
Yeah, totally.
So all of a sudden, I'm just like, holy shit. Like, this is fake.
Funny. Yeah.
Right. So, of course, the first thing I do, I'm like, you know, die, rotten hell, you cocksucker. I hate you. Blah, blah, blah. If I find you, I'm going to kill you. But then I got angry. And then I reached out to Michael, of course. I'm like, dude, do you know what's going on?
Yes.
This guy just tried to like, you know, scam me out of like crypto.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I've reached out to Instagram several times. Like Instagram is sitting on this fucking shit. So I'm pissed off because again, it's like it's 100% fake. I reported it. He's reported it. He says several other people have. This guy is still going on there impersonating Michael Janda. Right? Asking people for personal information. Like, how does this, and I mean, and they're not even taking it seriously.
Instagram's not.
Instagram's not, dude.
So
it's one thing if it was maybe us, because we only have a few thousand people following, but here's somebody who's like a regular, who's got hundreds of thousands. Like, he's a big time influencer.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
That is disgusting.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything about it.
They're not doing shit about it, which really pisses me off, right? So again, that feels bad. I feel like, you know, I can't cause much more shit because I don't have as much influence as he does. But dude, like, I mean, I must have went back to them like 5-6 times. Nothing. He said he has nothing. He said other people have on his behalf. Nothing. Like, I don't know what they're waiting for on this.
It's funny because I've again, same kind of scenario, not anybody in particular, but this guy just seemed like he was so like, please, if you see anything that's just disregard it and tell me this kind of stuff. And it's just like, you could just see the frustration in his dude's posts.
Oh,
I was
dude, it was just like,
how sad is that? And then Instagram will do nothing about this kind of thing.
No, totally. Absolutely.
Which is brutal.
So another way they crack into your accounts, of course, are like using like software like malware, like keyloggers or something, where literally it will do the same thing as that dictionary thing, and it'll try random combinations of your username and passwords, and just literally like it's all automated though, right? Because again, that's the scary thing, you know. And this happens more to PCs than Macs.
I was just gonna say that used to be the rumor, and that is actually true.
It is true. I mean, again, now whether it's because the chain of command, right? Whether for every 100 PCs there's one Mac.
That's right.
Right.
And that's what I heard.
The architecture is a little different on a Mac.
Yes.
Right. So it's a little harder to get into.
Right.
Again, their odds are much better to hack a PC because again, for every 100 there's one.
Yes.
But a lot of these also require executable files to actually execute, right? And an exe file only works on a PC. It doesn't work on a Mac.
Doesn't work on a Mac.
Right. I've tried to open up executable files in a Mac, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know, there are some things, certain software, but then even when you do open it up, if it was something that was built for a PC, it's not going to work on the Mac architecture, right? So yay Mac for one thing, thank God, right?
But that's just strictly because of numbers. Because
I think so.
less people.
Well, numbers, and then because the architecture is so different, so it's like. But
different,
you do hear very quickly, like, I mean, there was a worm a couple of years ago that went in, fished out like information. But again, how hard is it to identify?
Yeah.
That's one thing it doesn't seem to identify very easily is which users are on the Mac and the PC and how to actually get to those.
Yeah.
My understanding anyway. I'm not a pro at this, and I hope no hacker is listening to this being like, I'm going to show you, fucker. That's all I need.
You two fucks, you're going to get it.
They hack accounts through phishing techniques, of course, right? And this goes back to that whole email, the bank asking you to kind of like, re-verify or recheck. And
Please
just
log in now.
You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
Even Facebook. And again, I've been fooled. Right now, I'm like bombarded with all these Snapchats. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, this Snapchat's waiting for you. Log in your account now. This, so-and-so wants to say hi, right? And it's always famous celebrities. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm popular. Just like I've won about 30 cruises over the past 2 months, FYI. I'm going to be all over the fucking world on a boat soon. I'm saving them up. I'm saving up all my cruises that I've
all
won.
at once, The entire winter, I'm going to be gone.
But
Boat to boat.
Oh, so that, obviously the security questions is another thing, which we talked about, right? Like answer this, mom's made it. Like, these are all the same techniques that they use to either hack into your personal, like crack your password.
Yeah.
But also hack into your accounts. And it's funny because it's like the correlation between the two it's so blurred, but people's behaviors are exactly the same. And this is the problem.
This is what they're working on now. Yeah.
Absolutely, right?
Interesting.
Like it's like when you're so used, what is it, Jacob's Law, I think it is? When you're so used to doing something like the rest of the world, they bring that shit because it's just it's user behavior. It's all so this is where we just have to be a lot more aware of this kind of crap.
And 3.5 million people with the password 123456.
Dude.
Gives them all the ammunition that they need, right?
Think about it. That's like saying 10% of America has the same fucking password. Your odds are pretty good of cracking it.
Holy, we
crazy, right?
We shouldn't help these people.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of like, I know I'm going to be repeating a lot of the same shit in this podcast, but guys, shake your fucking head.
Please don't. Yeah.
Oh my God. Though, honestly, it always seems to come back though to, and again, this would absolve this whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullshit. Okay. Except the fact that we have a shit ton of, passwords.
Yes.
But make every password different.
Yes.
And everything always goes back to the same thing. Don't have a single password that you're reusing over and over.
Right.
I've been on accounts that had been hacked and I've received, I remember once I got a text, once I got an email and it was like, hey, we hacked, this account and guess what? This is your password. And I was like, holy shit. That was my password 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
Right? And it was like, thank God I changed it.
Yeah.
Right? And then, of course, they're like, oh, we have fancy pictures of you doing stuff. You have good taste, by the way. And I'm like, I do have good taste.
You have good taste.
But, really.
And I know you're bluffing. That's fun.
But, again, the problem is it makes you second guess for a second, right?
Yeah,
like, shit, could they be right? I didn't care about if they did have nasty pictures of me doing things I shouldn't be doing or not, because whatever. But, because he did compliment me that my taste was still good, so it was fine, right?
Yeah.
You like the kind of cars I was looking at on a regular basis that got me hot, so good. But, the thing is, it was like, I knew that was the exact password I used 6 years ago.
Yes.
But I had since changed it several times, right?
Yes.
And, everything I'm reading says the same thing. If they were to hack into that and get my name and that password, it's easy for them to find where else they can find my name, right? And then make some assumptions. Oh, he's also on Netflix. He's also here. He's also in this directory. And they will try that same password over and over until they actually hack.
Counting on the fact that you will use the same password
because human behavior does.
That's exactly it.
Again, nowadays, 100 passwords, people always reuse the same shit, right?
Totally.
Year after year after year.
Wow.
The most important thing that everybody's saying across the board, everything I'm reading, everything I'm studying, and from personal experience, different password, sadly, for everything you do is probably the safest thing you do. Because then heaven forbid, if only one thing gets hacked, as long as it's not your password, you're pretty safe.
Exactly.
Yeah. So honestly, start doing that.
Yes.
Right? Unfortunately, kind of figure that out. Well, you do.
I'm gonna knock off early and I'm gonna change all my passwords.
Change your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Good
6
everybody.
to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then
there you go.
you'll really get them with that 0. But if in fact you get down this place, right, and you're going to start, changing your passwords and stuff, okay?
Yes. Yep.
Everything I heard and from experience, everything I'm doing, okay, is obviously making it a strong password. And I'm sure everybody's seeing this right now, right?
Yep.
Everything is asking for, not everything, but a lot of the better services. And I stress better services.
Yes.
Okay, because there's always going to be we're designers. We live and breathe online.
How many accounts have you got?
We have accounts, you'll find, a vector file that you're like, shit, I could use that.
I want that.
Create an account. Free account, right? And you're like, fuck, here I go.
All right.
12345 I'm never going to use it again, but you inevitably go back and use it again.
You do. You're always returning to it.
Yeah, because you remember that one file did good. What else they got? Apps or this, or you get a free offer, and we're trying shit everywhere. So it's really it's really tempting to just keep reusing that same thing over and over.
Totally.
But a lot of those simple sites, don't have very complex password management systems.
Yes.
Okay, the Netflix of today and a lot of the big platforms ask you, make it really hard.
Yeah. Apple is awesome.
Dude,
they're like,
they're so awesome. I hate it.
I hate Apple. I know, but it's like, I try to type in a password. It's like, no, that's not strong enough. Fuck. Really?
Damn you. Now I have to change
But
my
they're
system.
looking out for me.
I
you
know,
what
I know.
mean? Which is
and
pretty
what's
awesome.
funny?
So.
And then you log in with that password, and it's like, wrong password. Try again. So you try a second time. No, I must have mistyped it. Wrong password. Try again.
Yeah.
Third time, it's like, nope, 3 times strike.
Yeah.
Reset it. You reset it. Type in your new password. You put in that password. Well, I'm going to just reuse that password. Type it in. It says, nope, can't reuse a password you already had. And he's just like,
well, Jesus.
But you just said I couldn't do it. What are you doing
Make
to
up
me?
your mind.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, there's a whole sidetrack there.
Oh,
for sure.
jeez. But I mean, again, some of the bigger, better companies you're right, our best interest in mind, and theirs.
That's right.
And theirs, right? Because
And
they're
theirs,
liable in the end.
exactly.
You're right. And so they want, they're deeming strong passwords to be 8 characters or more.
Yeah.
Combination of uppercase, lowercase, symbols, numbers, right? And sometimes I hate when they ask you. And they force you to do it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like preparing us for this best practices. Because really, that's what we need to be doing is kind of these bigger, more elaborate, using more combination. Because the more combinations the harder and harder it's going to be for any, number one, software to crack.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's one thing if they're only dealing with 26 numbers, right? Or sorry, the alphabet, 26 letters, and then uppercase, lowercase, fine. Throw in numbers. Okay, that gets bigger. But now all of a sudden, if you now triple that by throwing in characters, dashes, anything else available, all of a sudden it's just the numbers. Software, it's going to take forever software to figure these out. So, do that. One very big popular thing that is actually working really good.
This I love.
And this is cool. It's like instead of, a password, come up with a passphrase.
I love
right?
that.
And these are good.
Fucking awesome.
Right. And apparently they're very hard to hack.
Yes.
Right? Because, I mean, who the hell knows what the hell that, what's coming out of your mind?
Exactly. It's a string of things together.
Exactly.
Only you know it.
Only you know, right?
Yeah.
So you can sit there and do silly things like my girlfriend's name is Cheese, or, my dog drinks bourbon neat. It's like you put that in there. Who the hell is ever gonna explains why my dog sleeps so much? Because he drinks his bourbon neat, guys.
Ice kicks it out of there.
I know why he hates ice so much. Drinks his bourbon
That
neat.
is awesome. But stuff like that.
Passphrases are legit right now, and surprisingly enough, even our senior programmer, he's always saying, "Screw, a password. Use phrases, passphrases, string them together."
I like that.
No spaces, obviously.
Yes. Yep.
And if you want, you can put a dash in between. I think they're kind of fun. They work.
I think they're great. Yeah.
Well, because I think the key to these kind of things is obviously you have to make it complicated, but it also has to be easy for you to remember.
Yes.
Right? And that's the catch. Like, you have to find that balance that it makes it, hard to hack, but easy to remember.
Yes.
And maybe that's why, easy to remember, maybe people have been focusing on a little too much lately, according to 2021 America's Top Passwords. But
yes, but honestly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not a phrase.
Shit, you got that shit as your password. You deserve to be hacked. You deserve to have your
really
picture
do.
of you doing the nasty
Yeah.
because that's how stupid you are. You're asking for problems. Okay.
No, your exquisite tastes or whatever it was.
Oh God. So I mean, ways to protect yourself, and this one's pretty straightforward. Obviously, avoid bad passwords.
Yes.
Bad passwords being the stupid. Again,
see earlier.
To re-emphasize. Stay away from the top 10%. But also, and here's a big one, right? Bad passwords also are sports teams. You're loving this, eh?
I had no idea this was really.
It was a thing, dude. It's a thing.
It kind of makes me sad for humanity a little bit.
The internet, this is proof the internet is going to be the end to all of us.
It really is.
Oh, shit.
Okay, sorry. I'm going to refocus.
No.
That's brilliant.
But I mean, bad passwords, they're not just these silly string of numbers or letters on the keyboard, right?
Yes.
But they also include things like, and I never thought about this, but like sports teams or birthdays or dates or addresses or, like getting fancy with the word password by changing the S's to dollar signs, but you're still using password. No, but I mean, again, it's like some of it's like, pretty obvious stuff, right?
Yeah.
I know some of the bands you like. Mm-hmm. Chances are you should probably stay away from using some of the bands you like, right?
Right.
And it's you think it's easy to remember, but it's also easy for others to realize too.
It's true.
So number one, obviously, protect yourself. Best practice to protect yourself is avoid stupid passwords, bad passwords, something like that. Number two, surprisingly enough, never reveal your password to people. Everybody's recommending. I mean, maybe we're flippant with this stuff. Maybe we think it's too easy, but writing it down or giving it to people and having it lie around is like a very bad no-no. Like again, we need to control this shit.
Yeah.
Like a lot. We need to like lock it down. Unfortunately.
Yes. So from now on, when we do a liquor run, we charge it back to you.
Charge it back. Don't take my card anymore.
Don't take your card. Okay.
It expires this month on a good note, so I might have to actually do this. Obviously, length trumps complexity. This is why passphrases are great. Okay, because again, we have to remember that the way these systems work, it always starts, digit after digit after digit, so it can keep growing, which is why passphrases are really popular. But of course, complexity still plays a huge part to this. Right. So this is where we need to remember, like, you want to make passwords that are hard to guess but easy to remember. So this is where people start mixing up, characters to replace, symbols.
Yes.
Or space instead of a dash, use an underscore or something. Right.
Yes.
Like you want to make it complex enough so you can remember what it is that you're using on a regular basis, but it's hard for people to understand. Are they using dashes, underscores? Are they using dollar signs? Are they using numbers?
Those are the variables that really kind of throw you off.
And they can, right? And again, those are the saving grace, right?
Yes.
A big thing, of course, is you want to implement two-factor authentication.
Yes.
Or multi-factor authentication when that's available. Anytime that's available, jump all over that shit. Because what that is that's saying it needs a second way to verify that you are who you are.
Yes.
So on our Dropbox account, right? Our two-factor sends a text.
That's right.
And it says, hey, in order for, Sean signing into a brand new computer, in order for you to be able to open up that account, I have to give you that code.
The 6-digit code.
Right?
Yes,
so it comes to me.
Yeah.
This happens when you're requesting new passwords. Some accounts that I have, like I have some crypto accounts, obviously, and my online banking shit. Every time I open it, it's pushing a new number to a third-party app that I have to log into. Get that. That's like a multi-factor, and then goes back.
Shit.
Yeah, Google has something called Google Authenticator, and it's an app that you put on there. And so some of these, like some of the crypto sites that we use, it'll go from crypto. You want to log in, great. We've pushed a number to your authentication. It doesn't even say what authentication system it is. We've pushed a number to your authentication system. Type that number in. So I have to then log into that one quickly. I got 60 seconds, and I have to transfer that number.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So again, and this happens with cell phone. A lot of times, PayPal will give me an option for a one-time password. So if I'm logging in on a random computer that I've never used before, instead of typing in my password and, randomly, potentially, if there's malware there, it could remember my name and password. So it's like, instead of that, PayPal will text you a one-time password.
Right.
And again, so multi-factor authentication. So
That's
two-factor,
awesome.
That is huge. And that is going to be the saving grace, because that starts getting really hard to hack, right?
And that's the thing too, is like, how many times are you without your phone
Always. You're right, right? Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's like an
exactly.
implant. I think they said like 94% of people, claim that their phone is within arm's length away
All the time.
24 hours a day. That pretty much qualifies as an implant.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That's pretty scary.
And such a great fail safe to have it text you right there,
Absolutely.
so you've got that double.
Absolutely, right? So
protection.
even if somebody's, Apple also does this, by the way. Many times I'll be like,
That's true.
somebody is
Yes.
trying to log into your account at this
Yeah.
location, and it gives me a dot in like northern Alberta. And I was just like, well, I'm currently outside of Toronto, so that's
Yeah.
obviously not me, and I deny it.
Yes.
Right? So something weird like that,
Yes.
right? So again, huge. If you have the opportunity to use multi-factor authentication in any way, jump all over that
Yes.
shit. You have to jump all over that shit, right?
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah.
And really, it's not a terrible inconvenience
No,
to
not at
be
all.
texted and drop in.
No, not at all, right?
six-digit
Absolutely
Boom,
not.
and then you're in. You know what I mean? Like, that's nothing. And that's perfect for the peace of mind, right?
So there is even one step further. A lot of the technology now has got like biometric type of, like technology is actually, aiding to verify who you are, right? So think about it. The new iPhones has got the face scan.
Oh, right.
Right? There's no password. It
Right.
looks at your face.
Just-
face detection, right?
Shit.
You've got, your MacBook has got the Touch ID.
The Touch ID, I love that.
Okay, so again, it's
Yes.
kind of silly and sometimes a pain in the ass, but think about it. It's like approve this. Touch,
Yeah,
a Touch
boom.
ID, you touch it. So whenever, there's some sort of advanced authentication method available,
Yeah.
you jump on that
Yes.
because you can't hack that.
Yes.
Right? That's not something, that starts getting really difficult.
Yes,
So this is
exactly.
like PCs have got some facial recognition. Some things are looking into like heartbeat, heart rhythm apparently is like a thumbprint. I know
Really?
it's pretty crazy, right? But then again, your thumbprint, your eye, like, I mean, it's coming. This
Yeah.
shit's coming, dude.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, let's face
that's-
it. We're going to be online. They're asking for our eyes. They're
Yeah.
asking for our face,
Yeah.
our thumbprints,
Yeah.
our bank accounts.
And they're bang-
We're just dumb. Here you go.
Go ahead.
Okay. But it's true. Just face it. Everything's online.
Yeah, it's totally. You're right. You're absolutely right. So you got to protect yourself. That's
Right.
huge.
And honestly, one of the biggest things online everywhere, the best practice, if you want to go down this road, use a password management program. And I know you hate this, Sean. So
You know what? I do not.
you do. There's two people in this whole place that hate it.
But the one person, I don't think she uses it at all, does she?
No, she begrudgingly does.
Oh, she does.
Oh,
But
she
I
does.
do
You
too.
just don't it all.
No, I do.
Do you?
I have some things on there for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
But some things I don't have.
So we use, in all fairness, life, as far as I'm concerned, got so much simpler agency-wise
I know.
because
You love it. Yeah.
Well, I love it in the sense that so we use a password manager, right? We use 1Password.
1Password.
And and again, we went through research. There's a whole bunch out there, right? There's Nord something or another. There's Dashlane. I researched like 6 or 7 of them, and 1Password came up because it seemed to have been kind of like, in my opinion, kind of graphic designer friendly because it was visual. It was easier to use.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of these other ones are, but okay, there's like, it's now in my browser, right? As like a simple button.
Yep.
It's on
Yep.
my cell phone,
Yep.
and it also is an app on my phone, right?
Oh.
And it's like I only have to remember one password. But okay, for your own recommendation, it has to be very, very, very complicated.
Very complicated.
So
yeah.
don't do password 1 2 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly that.
And don't even think you're doing password with S's and dollar signs for the S's. Like literally, it's like you do 1Password, make it as complicated as hell. Make sure you never forget that 1Password.
Yep.
All right. And then anytime you need to access anything else, it's literally a click away and you don't ever see what that other password is.
Yes.
That's the thing. So it automatically creates these giant, like
Huge.
32 digit. I know.
With crazy random things. Yeah.
Crazy.
If
And
you
they're
ever show
huge.
the eyeball like to
Oh
see
my
it, it's just
God,
like,
it's like-
what?
I know.
I would never ever remember
Dude, I
that.
have tried to type those in manually and
And yeah, that would be a nightmare.
but the reality is it's like it'll automatically, when you sign up for new accounts, it's like, it automatically knows that you're setting up this password and it automatically recommends it. Says, hey, here's a password for you. And it's like 50 digits long and this and that and this. It hits all of the requirements, right? And then it stores it. And so for me as obviously an owner, the nice thing is and not that I have any trust issues with anybody, but the reality is nobody even knows the passwords. They're just automatically, and it automatically fills it in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So even if somebody was to be victim of a phishing attack, unfortunately, then, we're still covered because everything has its own password. Everything is different, right? The only scary thing about these password management programs is, initially, for me as the owner, when you sign up, they give you one master password. And if I fuck up and lose that, everything's gone. Now, everything. And that's scary as fucking
really,
hell.
Yeah, because if you're locked out of the master password, then we would be.
And that would be the one, and it's true, because it would cripple everything all over again. It really would.
Yes.
So so that's the one thing that is like, but the fact is, we have hundreds of different apps, sites, this, that we deal with. And the nice thing is this thing also lets me do my own it does business, but it does personal.
And see, this is what we were talking about earlier today.
So now you can have like just personal, like your home Netflix account.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And again, because it's all legit, dude. Yeah. It's all tied together.
Yes. And it's all under one umbrella, but it's just I can go into mine, personal one, and like
take all your personal stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it's important.
Yeah, and I'm coming around to that.
You have to, dude. When I saw you pull out, and this only happened recently, he's like, "Oh no, I got the password."
Oh my shame! Don't tell everybody.
And he pulls out a piece of paper with all this neatly organized, well-typed passwords with the accounts and the websites. Just like, dude, we gotta talk, man. We gotta talk. Oh,
I know. I'm so old school.
I think I got like an instant ulcer when I saw that.
I can tell you were just like, "Oh God, man."
Sean.
Well, it's funny. After this podcast, I swear to God, I'm the first fucking convert to this. I was just like,
really, holy well, because some of this information is pretty crazy to hear, right?
It's absolutely
and
bizarre.
how crippling it is for companies. Like they will hostage. Like some people will go in,
and that's just awful.
And you hear the kind of companies that it just really sucks, right? So, like the reality is, the one thing to prevent is obviously unique passwords everywhere, but when we're expected to remember 100 unique passwords and make them complicated, like you can see why human behavior wants to try to make their lives easier, and they're thinking, "Oh, I'll be okay, nobody." But when you're using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're using that same password across everything, and it's tied with your email and this and that, and your name, dude, you're just asking.
You're asking
to have
for
your identity
trouble.
theft,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
Dude, think of the implications. It's like then all of a sudden they're taking your identity. They could be like ranking up your credit. They could be fucking over your business, dude, on so
just
many
messing
levels.
your life up big time.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No,
but
no,
I have
that's
heard stories that it takes people years to get that shit back in order. And I'm too busy as it is.
Yeah,
dude.
totally. So is this the future? Do you think these kind of like one password and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, do I think a password manager? I wouldn't say it's a future. I think it's. The now.
It's the now.
I think it's where we are.
Okay.
I think the future is going all biometric, and that's scary to say.
Yeah.
I really do. You know what? It's like I said, it's ridiculous. There was this study. Oh no, it wasn't a study. It was dude on the street was like saying that they were, he's pretending. This was on CBC, and it was like downtown Toronto, and he was like, hey, he was showing. He was like, oh, we've got an implant of this new product, implant of the phone on your arm, and he was showing, and it was fake. It was all done makeup wise, but it showed like an embedded, piece of software on the arm, and it was like their cell phone, and it was like, it was just pointless. Would you? And of the people, it was like over half the people were like, I want that. I want it embedded. I want that tech. Like this is, and it's sad because I think this is where the future is going. I think it's more going because think about it. Like they're checking out our eyes. They're checking out our heartbeat.
Right. Yeah.
They're checking out like
thumbprint or
thumbprint's
fingerprint.
nothing anymore.
Yeah.
That's the crazy
That's old
thing,
school, right?
Yes. So with all this, I do think that it's going more technology, biometric. I think it's going to be all personalized.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yes.
But then at that point, man, it's the end of the world. That's it. Once we have one number to represent us, we're screwed.
Yeah, we really are.
Yeah, right. Jeez, on so many levels. No, that's pretty scary. I think that's the future in some ways or another, but I do think that password managers help the now.
Yes.
The now, I still believe that we're in the wild west of the internet,
Yeah.
right? Like right now, it's an open space,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Nothing's regulated, which I'm shocked,
Yeah,
right? Unless
but-
you're in a communist country,
Yes.
it's open, and
Yes.
it's led to a lot of really shitty crap, a lot of shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Will they ever lock down the internet? Will they ever? I don't know. But I still feel it's only 20 years old.
Yeah.
It's literally only 20 years
That
old,
is
like mass
crazy.
market. So, sorry, maybe 22, 23 right
Yeah.
now, right? But it's only where it's hit like what we experience right now, which is nothing. I can't even say it's a blip in time. It's a blip in a lifetime, like
Yeah.
somebody's lifetime. It's only like 20 years. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So, who knows what the future's to come? But right now, with so many people out to scam your information, your personal contact and stuff,
Yeah.
I think that password managers are the reality of what we need right now. It made my life a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, honestly, so, like, I really don't believe you have to do that. One of the things, to wrap this up, obviously, I think we need to accept the fact that in order to be safe, you need a different password everywhere.
Yeah.
Because if one site gets hacked, you're not screwed
Yeah.
because you're reusing your same password, right? So,
Because that's the first thing that they'll
thing
do.
they do.
As soon as they crack one, they're going to go to the next and the next.
because
and the
then
next.
they'll have your name,
and
right? Your email,
and the likelihood.
and this password.
Yeah.
And human behavior shows that people are reusing the same passwords.
Yes.
So the first thing they're going to do is go beeline and be like, okay, where else is this person using this? Let's try it on Netflix. Let's try it at this bank, at this bank, at this bank.
Yeah.
And I mean, human behavior shows that the numbers are in their favor, like for trying to hack. So I think the first thing we need to do is accept the fact that the online world sucks right now.
Yeah.
And we need, different unique passwords for every login to be safe. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But number one, I think we have to accept that fact, right?
Yeah.
And then number two, we have to figure out our brains are not smart enough. They're not. Like, I mean, you can't remember 100 different usernames,
no way.
passwords,
There's no way.
sites. Oh, I'm on, iStock photo today. I used, this password. I'm here. So, you have to step number two. You have to accept the fact that you have to store it somewhere.
Yes.
I don't care where the fuck it is. I don't care if it's in an Excel sheet. Understand that Excel sheet is going to be tied to your computer. Okay, put it online. Okay, fine. Accept the fact that it might get hacked online one day, right? There's so many, factors. Heck, put it in a little black book if you want beside your computer.
Yeah.
If it gets lost, the house gets burned down or whatever, right? But accept the fact that you need different passwords everywhere, and now you need to store them somewhere because whether or not you think you can remember them all, I doubt it, right?
Yeah.
So that's number two. And then now that we're storing passwords, number three,
Yep.
come up with a system that works for you. And what I mean by system here is, everybody's got different. We talked about complicated passwords.
Yes.
We talked about mixing symbols, letters, numbers,
Underscores,
We talked
things
about
like that.
passphrases.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So embody a system, take a system, embrace a system, and use that system to make your life a little easier. That's what you should count on, right? Like that, I'm going to be the kind of person that's going to use a capital on every the first letter. I'm going to replace all my vowels with symbols, or I'm going to replace all my vowels with numbers, and develop a system that works for you that you can remember.
Yes.
Okay. It's not that it's easily hacked.
Yeah.
It's just something that's easy to remember. Because I mean,
Yes.
good luck for them to try to hack that.
Yeah.
Then try to realize, I'm going to figure out every other possible combination. No.
Yeah.
This is to make your life a little easier. Come
Yes.
up with some sort of system for you, vowels, letters, symbols, passphrases, whatever the hell it is.
Not every hacker is going to know that your dog takes his whiskey neat.
That's right. My dog drinks his whiskey neat.
Like that's really cool. Like that's a great. And I'm remembering it. You know what I mean? And it's
Right,
such
it
a
works,
clever,
right? It works. That shit works. It's true. Watch, as of tomorrow, everybody's going to start using, my dog drinks his whiskey neat.
That'll be the new hot password.
Whatever the system is, honestly, as long as it's a system that helps you remember and be consistent, because again, sometimes, through my past 20 years, I've switched systems, then it get messy, this, that. So it's like, nope, this is a system I use, right? And then last but not least, or not last but not least, if possible, right? Use multi-factor in some way, whether it's two-factor, another device, whether it's biometric, in that case, use what other technology is available to prevent this.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, last but not least, use a password manager.
Yes.
And I'm not plugging anybody. We use 1Password. I like it.
Yes.
I researched all the other ones. I'm not getting any kickbacks. We are not sponsored. If I like something, and I'm pretty simple. Like I really like an easy user interface. Easy to use. If it's too complicated, if it's too DOS or Windows like, I hate it.
Forget it.
Right.
Forget it.
So this one's it was easy enough. But I mean, use any password manager if you can. Right. But the reality is, you follow these like 6 little points, you'll be fine with this right now.
Totally.
Right. And I think we can kind of keep evolving from here. But that's the tricky part. I think this is where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, I mean, I had no idea. This was
do it.
This was friggin' as eye-opening, and I literally, I'm standing across from you, and I'm like,
yeah, you just, I can't believe that you have that shit on paper on your desk, dude.
I am getting rid of that fucking thing. I swear to God.
How have I managed to stay in business so long? By hiring very good people.
I'm good at some things. I'm not good at everything.
Oh, well, you lack in some ways. You definitely make up in others. I guess you're all right.
All my passwords are at the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah, right.
Right where they belong.
If you just didn't give such great back rubs, it'd be easier to give you shit on things. But damn, dude.
I'm telling you. What can I say? I know my strengths.
Oh my God.
Oh,
usually by the end of the podcast, it gets like this, right? We get silly, alcohol's kicked in. We're like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good at this point.
Oh, shit. So I think, damn.
Yeah. Shit.
I think this covers a lot. I hope we haven't made you guys go to sleep, but by all means, protect yourself.
Yeah.
Protect yourself nowadays. Like, you need to.
This stuff is gold. I'm telling you.
I think so.
It really is. It's very, very important because you don't want to get hacked.
No, you don't want to be the victim in all this, right?
Exactly.
Cool, dude. All right, before we bail out, please, everybody, remember, if you like this episode, drop us a line, hit us a review, tell us what you think, and then when you do that, hit us up on Instagram. Let us know that you hit the review, because you will be entitled to be entered into March's, draw for a set of AirPods.
Yeah.
Right. So you can listen to us on the go everywhere you go. Right. Refer us to people. Let everybody know that we're available on Apple. We're available on Spotify. We're on Google now. We've got an awesome website that has everything there if you want to learn about us. Not much about us, but Sean's swimsuit calendar is coming out soon. So that's going to be available on the website for free, everybody.
The password to get into that is 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Free download.
Free download.
Just give us your name, your email, your mom's maiden name,
your favorite football team.
Yep. But by all means, and drop us a line on Instagram. Like, hang out with us on Instagram. We try to be active. We try to respond to everybody. Sometimes it takes us a couple days to get back, but we try as hard as we can to get back to everybody on Instagram, right? So by all means, come visit us, say hi. Other than that, I mean, all I gotta say is I love you guys, and I genuinely want you guys to embrace this shit, man, because it would suck to be cracked, to have your password cracked, your account cracked. That would suck.
That would be terrible. That would be terrible.
On a personal or business level. That would suck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be and considering, like you said, if it takes 2 years to recover from something like this,
on the identity theft part at minimum,
what a nightmare.
Imagine what that would do to your business.
Yes, exactly.
Imagine if it got out that a customer is like, oh, they were careless with our account, they were careless with our information.
We can't trust them.
No, exactly, and that's what I mean. People trust us, and we need to respect that.
Yeah,
sadly, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Wow.
Cool, bud.
This was great.
All right.
Woo.
Well, I feel even that much more scared, but now I'm going to start season 2 of Mr. Robot tonight. I'll let you guys know next week.
Maybe he has a change of heart. And he doesn't. No, let's stop doing all this stuff.
I'll let you know at the next podcast. All right, everybody. Yeah. My name is Massimo.
Yeah, my name is Sean.
Stay creative.
Stay angry.
Peace.